I'm I'm not on camera because I think my light has died. Okay. We were on the audio tape. Okay, so we did limits and demonstrations, I believe. Right. Or wait, is limits and demonstrations in between Act 1 and 2? Oh, it is. Okay, so we want to do limits and demonstrations. Oh man, I got threats of violence in the chat. Okay. So these are probably the same three people that we were interacting with before. But we'll see. Wall text. Limits and demonstrations. Alula Chamberlain retrospective. Marking the first major public showcase of her work in over 20 years, this retrospective exhibition of work by pioneering installation artist Lula Chamberlain comprises a diagonal slice through time, place, and form. Let me see if I can move this microphone any closer to where I actually want it to be. Because I just don't want to lose track of my posture for hours here. Okay, so it's kind of like next to my mouth now. The mic breaks. Yeah, I mean, if anything I've learned recently is that streaming is perhaps not my calling in life based on just the issues I've had. But believe it or not, I've been trying to work out some of this stuff so that hopefully when we try to do some never rad things from isolation, they'll actually be, uh, you know, not a total disaster. A technological disaster. Okay. I'm good at it. Well, you know, I feel like there's, you know, different kinds of streaming, and I think mine centers heavily on personality and not skill. Anyway, okay. Um, The pieces on display here were individually debuted over a period of 35 years, designed in Chamberlain's various homes and studios between her beloved Mexico City and her native Elizabethtown. They represent a range of scale and impact from the intimate warmth of vertex texture fetch to the infamous visage, or visage, the latter of which requires a vertical clearance of over 30 feet. Yeah, it is probably more about personality. I think. I don't know. And yes, my very calming sounds like I'm doing the movie voice right now. Yet these works share a confounding legacy. In each of their debut exhibitions, they were nearly impossible to install. Galleries and museums balked at the scale, power requirements, and highly skilled labor involved in maintaining these works for display. Some of their debuts collapsed under the weight of logistics, only to be successfully executed much later. And so, just as they describe the outer limits of Chamberlain's range as an installation artist, the geographical edges and vertices of her itinerant home life, and the beginning and end of her distinguished career, The works on display here also trace the extremes of our capabilities and the frontiers of our patience as both viewers and exhibitors. No, I think Sassmaster J is probably fine. And you know Matt's gonna love saying it. Blath also needs some help. Or wait, no, you did get back to me, I think, about what name you wanted. Are we capable of viewing these works as they were meant to be viewed? Do we even want to be? Oh, okay, so I'm controlling the lady. And now we get to look at title card, Basement Puzzle number 2, Artist, Sunset and Horse, 1976, plaster and wire. And I didn't silence my phone. It's a friend of mine sharing a blurst image with me. Because I've cut myself off from Reddit. I have to get my Reddit from other people now. I'll have to look at that later. Let's see. What do you think she means by puzzle? Can you read the covers of these books? Solemn, sad. So I feel like basement, horse, sunset. Those all came up in the last bit. Okay. Yeah, weird. I guess it's something you can solve. There must be symbols. Artist, sunset, horse, or is it an anagram or like a code? Yeah, so they're Emily, Ben, and Bob. So these were the people in the basement. You guys are silly. Okay. Maybe it's not a puzzle, but it's just about a puzzle. Okay. Can I talk to these dudes? Do they both have suspenders on? I thought he had suspenders on from the back, but then he moved. No, maybe not. I don't, I'm not going to tell anybody how to do anything. I would just be a little bit careful about the information in the chat here. You never know who else could be reading on. But I think all of you guys are in the Discord. You can probably exchange details there. Title card, overdubbed Namjoon Pike installation in the style of Edward Packer, 1965, 1973, and 1980. Magnetic tape, handheld tape player, head, speaker system, voice of the artist, computer synthesized speech. Oh, I read about this one. It's interactive. Oh no. Skylar, did you see that? I don't know if that came through on the stream, but Skylar stopped playing games, and that means that I'm allowed to use his games again. Okay. Oh well. If that keeps happening, I'll have to figure out a way to stop it. This is just, I'm new to streaming stuff from Steam. Like, if there's a way to not have those notifications be over the game, that would be super. Anyway, I heard about this one. It's interactive. How does it work? It's a bunch of old tape, and you run the tape playback head along it, and just listen to the recordings, I guess. Let's try it out. I think you start in the middle. As Bob drags the playback head along the tape, a woman's voice issues unsteadily from the speakers. We start in the middle. Donald and Joseph are in the hallway. I am in an office. The walls are lined with filing cabinets. A few drawers hang open. The door is ajar. A massive computer looms in the corner. There are some punched cards on the floor. A synthetic voice recording spliced awkwardly into the tape lists out options in monotone. To examine cards, rotate 30 degrees and advance 7 inches. To leave room, rotate 17 degrees and advance 4 inches. To activate computer, rotate 200 degrees and advance 15 inches. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure on a tape reel. Let's examine the cards. Encoded in the holes punched through these cards is a first draft of the Poetic subsystem. I can't read punched cards by sight. Donald can, I think. Anyway, this version was pretty underwhelming. To leave room, rotate 17 degrees and advance 4 inches. To activate computer, rotate 200 degrees and advance 15 inches. Let's activate the computer. Bob moves the playhead to another strip of tape. So loud, I love it. I'm now holding 2 punched cards. On one of them, Joseph has scribbled a note, Caves. The other is blank. To insert Caves card, rotate 11 degrees and advance 2 inches. To insert blank card, rotate 95 degrees and advance 14 inches. Start with the Caves card. We're on a dirt trail in the park, or, well, it's not really a trail. It's a trail! It's more like a tendency. There tend to be fewer plants here on the path we've been walking. Walking sounds. Now we're walking at the edge of a massive hole. The dirt gives way to mossy rocks as the ground sinks into darkness. Joseph and Donald are following a rope down into the cave. They have computer equipment tied to their backs. So do I. To enter the cave, rotate 65 degrees left and advance 4 inches. That's the only choice? Yeah, that's the end of that one. So 65 degrees, 4 inches. That's the last strip, so everything's down here now. The final resting place. Don't be so morbid. To remember a fond gesture, rotate 180 degrees and advance. Oh! Alright, Skylar's playing Rust. Is that coming through on the, Oh, it's not. Okay, good. Okay, good. It's not coming through. I thought it was, No, but it didn't. It's not actually coming through the feed. So I was just making sure. Yeah, Oxenfree was another option. We can probably play that one at some point. Seems like my kind of thing, and also I can probably stream it on this computer without breaking anything. Yeah, I've already got a key. I've been meaning to play it for years. I just kind of always imagined that it would be a game that I would play with people, sort of like this. So, okay. To remember a fond gesture, rotate 180 degrees and advance 23 inches. To regret a harsh word, rotate 12 degrees and advance 6 inches. I think we're doing positive. We're doing remember. This morning, I'm in the chair. I'm driving to work. I'm in the car. I'm not in the chair. I'm in the car. I'm driving my chair to work. This is the last recording I'll make on this tape, and then I'll drop it in the mail tomorrow. And then who knows? I've been recording onto this tape for 15 years, I think. A lot of things happened, so here is a story. So, I mean, depending on the kind of tape, like if it's reel-to-reel tape, then I think you only get about 15 minutes. Then again, maybe they have some that are like, an hour or so, depending on the playback speed. But then, like, even tape cassettes give you, like, what, an hour or two? I mean, I guess recording onto an 8-track would technically be infinite. However, you'd be constantly recording over whatever you recorded. When I met Donald and Joseph, they were both students, and I was in a band performing on campus. They came to my show, and then we met at some bar and had a few drinks together. Joseph wanted to impress me, so he stole a metal cocktail tumbler and gave it to me. We got kicked out, wandered drunkenly until morning, and finally ended up at a diner, and now I use the tumbler to store extra pens on my desk. So I'm almost out of tape. I guess I'll just let it run out while I drive. No instructions. Hey, go back a bit. Maybe we missed something. I would assume that Emily is, or not Emily, Lula is trying not to record over the tapes. I mean, yeah, it's possible, but... Alright, we'll see, but layering on the tape is different. Because then you have to use the, the listening head. You're overdubbing, not recording over it, I guess is what I mean. Recording over it would mean that you'd get rid of it. Overdubbing, you'd add it on. I think. Vol, do you watch Heinbach's YouTube channel? You should check out Heinbach. He's in Germany. He does a lot of stuff with tape. Ambient musician. I think that's how you spell it. Might be an E, not an A, but I don't know. I'm fascinated by tape, but I don't really have the money or the time. Okay. Let's go back a bit. Really, we've gone so far. Yeah, let's go back. Okay, sure. That's the last strip, so everything's down here now. Final resting place. Don't be so morbid. I guess we can regret. It's late morning now. I'm sitting... I thought that might have been human speech, but I think it's still just part of the ambient. It's late morning now. I'm sitting at my desk on my lunch break. This is the last recording I'll make on this tape, and then I'll drop it in the mail tomorrow, and then who knows. I've been recording onto this tape for 15 years, I think. A lot of other things happened, so here's a story. First time I moved to Mexico, I stayed there for 3 years, and I had no contact with either Joseph or Donald in that whole time. They each thought I'd done it to spite them. Maybe I had, in part. But I don't think they ever appreciated the community I had in Mexico, or... Anyway, when I came back, I didn't call them or visit the university. I ran into Donald completely by chance at the hardware store. He asked me why I hadn't called, and I told him it hadn't occurred to me. The issue with the vinyl records is not radiation. It's toxic chemicals. And I don't want to talk about it. Hey, Dog Lore Sleeper. Radioactivity. The puns. Anyway, when I came back, I didn't call them or visit the university. I ran into Donald completely by chance at a hardware store. He asked me why I hadn't called. I told him it hadn't occurred to me. So I'm almost out of tape. I guess I'll just let it run out while I eat. No instructions? No, that's the end of this tape strip. I don't think we ever reached this long one at the top here. Is it cheating to skip over there? I won't tell a soul. Think of our work, our research. You'll die in these damn cold caves. And what about those men? You know they'll come back. We'll go deeper. That's all. They'll never find us. Did you hear their voices? They're not. They'll find you. But not me. I'm going back to the surface. Stop! Your stupid fight is ringing through the whole damned cave. Joseph is right. We can't stay here. I'm leaving too. But I'm not going back to the surface. I'm taking my station wagon and I'm heading down to Zero. You'll be lost forever. But we need your voice for the machine. Lula, it only recognizes your voice. I'll send you this tape when I'm done recording. I'll put it in the mail, and then you can see what your damned machine does with it. Oh. Yeah, that was awfully loud. Men didn't know how to go deeper. Alright, well. So, I wonder if those caves are the same ones that we were in the last one. Holy cow. Visage, 1984, unknown movie. This is not how I go through museums, by the way. I like going to museums, but I do not linger. It's really rare for something to be so intense that I'm like, well, I have to stand here for a while. That's how I got through like seven whole museums when I was in the UK. Slice of visage to build a visage. Puzzle to its own. What? It's a poem I wrote. I think it was written by a computer. Sounds like it. I think it's rustling paper and indistinct voices. How do you leave this room without? That seems awfully loud. Let's just drop that. Teensy bit. Vertex texture fetch, true television and suspended cathode ray tube. 1968. Found materials. Bob, this seems like your kind of thing. Picture on the TV. What is that? It's a lighthouse. It's a weather vane or a windmill or something. Is it a lighthouse? Moving away from it to another sound. Spinning coin suspended, correcting for angular motion. 1976. Found materials. What a lonely image. Feels so strange. You're alive. Ben, didn't you have one of these? Well, I did have an old microphone reader like this. I got it at a garage sale. Couldn't figure out what to do with it. That's my whole shed, just a bunch of weird obsolete electronics I thought I might use. Someday. Yeah, maybe. Maybe I'll just sell them for scrap when the price of lead and plastic goes up. Guess everything gets broken down eventually. Do I have to be standing here to see the exit? This show is exhausting. Got an achievement for doing that one. So that was not chapter 2. Or not act 2. Now we're into act 2. Attention, Lula Chamberlain, regarding your application. Thank you for your application to the Gaston Trust for Imagined Architecture's annual fellowship. We received a record number of applications this year, over 100 in total, and regrettably, we can award only one fellowship position per year. As you know, our review process includes a multi-phase blind committee analysis of portfolio submissions, as well as a careful review by a panel of subject matter experts on each applicant's notability and relevance in the field. We must be extremely selective in our process so as to maintain the standards we have established over our 35 years in operation. Our panel did not select your application. We encourage you to consider reapplying next year. Many young artists and architects reapply for a few successive years before being accepted. Sincerely, Dr. Carl Stone Norden, architect, Gaston Trust for Imagined Architecture. Below the printed text is a hastily handwritten note. Note, sorry for the condescending form letter. Love your work. Unfortunately, I just do the mail here. Your obsived Robert. I mean, the note on the bottom was nice. I guess I would keep that. Opens a folder on her desk labeled proposals. Opens a folder of writing paper on her desk. Just, yeah, forward me your mail, and then I'll read all of your, all of the bad news to you. Okay. Let's open the writing paper. Oh, these options. Dearest Robert, thank you for your kind note. Oh, a couple of my friends are playing Rust. We're going to be nice to Robert. Though it has been years since my name appeared in a gallery program, except as an occasional dusty curiosity in a group show, or as the impertinent subject of some misguided retrospective, I continue to something gratitude. Yours in situ, Lula. Rick clears his throat. Busy. It's not important. Okay, great. Really great. I mean, sorry, that's not what I meant. Did you get my note? About the office party, I'm going stag. About the proposals, I'm still working on them. I don't know. Are we shutting this guy down? Okay, gotcha. Well, hey, I'm not here to rush you. So how did your application go? I was in the mailroom and I saw you got a letter back. Sorry, I don't mean to pry, I just saw. It's fine, Rick, I'm not going anywhere. How's your goldfish? Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. I'm a little concerned because I really liked that first chapter, but if we're not playing with any of those characters... Oh no, we are, right here. Okay, good. Let's talk to Homer. Get a good rest in the truck. I know you love a drive. In your ears, yeah, I saw you back there, Homer. Just this dog is precious. You have to say nice things to the dog. Didn't we just pass this place? I don't think the Zero operates like roads we're used to. I don't understand it either. So what is this place? Looks like an office building. Looks like a cathedral. What do you think? I'm gonna go with cathedral. Yeah, cathedral with an office building in it. This is weird, but do you think we're inside or outside right now? Well, the more I look at it, the more I'm not sure. Both. Ah, okay. Very poetic. Well, maybe someone around here has a better sense of direction. End of the line? How did we even get the truck here? Like, did we go up the stairs with the truck? Were they playing Death Stranding and driving like I did? And it's still under construction. Well, work seems to have stopped for the moment. Okay. Let's check out this, like, fishing pole over here. Oh, nothing to do there. Oh, did we come through that tunnel? Yeah, we're inside. We've driven into an art gallery, apparently. And I do not like the sound of those clicking lamps. Feels like I'm getting poked in the ear. I just had to wait. Man, this guy's slumped over. Oh, and then up here is Lula in the office. I don't know how well the, does the mouse cursor come through? Yeah, it does. Okay, cool. Okay. Well, here you are. Better late than never, I guess. Just unload the whiskey over there by the elevator. I'll figure something out. Want to settle a bet? I'm actually pretty busy, but sure, what's up? Can you be both inside and outside at the same time? Wow, okay. Is that like a philosophy thing, or are you just lost? Yeah, I guess it is a bit philosophical. Huh, okay. Wouldn't say you're dressed like a philosopher. Excuse me? Excuse me, bitch? Oh, how am I dressed? You work like me. I take care of the heating and cooling and watch the front desk. You know, at first I thought you were here delivering whiskey for our little celebration, but you don't look like one of the boys from the distillery either. In my experience, philosophers, at least the ones at my particular university, dress like shit. They are not at all concerned with the way they look. What are you celebrating? Oh, the less I understand, the better. When I'm here, I keep the fans turning and the furnace hot and listen for the bell. When I get home, I'm a different person. I don't have to think about it, I just paint. Well, it's clear you're new to this territory. I expect you just mean to be passing through. I'm looking for Dogwood Drive. You know where it is? Dogwood. Nope. You're gonna need to talk to someone upstairs about that, one of the map clerks. But first we've got to get you in the system. So you'll just need an appointment with one of the ingestion clerks. Now let's see. Rick is booked proofreading drafts all afternoon, and Wanda's out on a site. Let me go make some calls and see if we have anyone free. There's some books over there in the waiting area, or just take a look around. Have you seen our grotesques? Let's see what's over here. Oh, there is stuff over here. And some books. 3 books are piled on the table. A service manual for a sewage pump, some architectural plans for a bungalow, and a slim collection of Japanese death haiku. An envelope is protruding from the bottom of the stack. What is a death haiku? Can one of you look up some death haikus and just paste them into the chat? The envelope reads, Bureau of Secret Tourism. It contains several small handwritten brochures with ritualistic directions to bizarre locations. Unable to complete this heavy task for our country, arrows and bullets all spent. So sad we fall, but unless I smite the enemy, my body cannot rot in the field. Yea, I shall be born again 7 times, and grasp the sword in my hand. Let ugly weeds cover this island, my sole thought shall be the future of the imperial land. Something tells me that didn't fit into 17 syllables, even in Japanese. Myriad green leaves, a single bullet is enough for death. A small night storm blows, saying, falling is the essence of a flower, preceding those who hesitate. Though I heard, everyone goes this road. Eventually I didn't expect that I'd be on it yesterday or today. Falling ill on a journey, my dreams go wandering over withered fields. It's miserable to imagine that my remains will be cremated and become a light green smoke at last. Let's take a peek at whatever nonsense is up here. The television is playing what looks like a nature documentary. A hermit crab struggles across a beach. Its shell is an awkward shape. It must have once belonged to a different crab. Being the dead man's spirits, I will go to the summer field for a recreation. Oh, those are TVs stacked on the walls, not windows. Television is playing an instructional video on elevator design. It is crucial to maintain proper lighting in an elevator. In the absence of sight, passengers' sense of motion is greatly enhanced. The passenger should never feel as though they are physically ascending or descending. The elevator should create the illusion that the building is flat. This is the mark of a successful elevator design. Television is playing a cartoon about a bird. The cartoon bird collects pieces for its nest. A scarf, a plastic shopping bag, a bit of a young girl's hair. The nest is warm, but precariously fragile. Television is playing a closed-circuit security feed of a housing project. The feed switches mechanically between locations: hallway, a disused plot of grass, a stairwell, a mailbox. got a notification that my Pokemon egg is about to hatch. Who wants to bet what it's gonna be? Also, I appreciated giving me credit for moving while I'm literally just sitting there. Television is playing a silent video of an empty theater. The microphone sits. Oh, he's got a fiber order. Nice. The microphone sits in the middle of the stage. The lights are slightly dim. The speakers hum occasionally. I don't know which. Let's see. It's a 5K ad. I'll let you guess. I won't tell you until you guess. Oh, fuck. Oh, boy. Well, alright. I don't see any guesses. It's a Soul Rock. So, let's go to the trash can. So, another one of these 5Ks in the incubator. Oh, that's fine. I thought. Actually, wait, no. I think Black is the only one that plays. Or do G Princess do you also play? Is the sound still too loud? I can drop it down another notch. Oh good, I thought you'd left. People can be so impatient, you never know. Well, I have you meeting with Lula Chamberlain. She's a senior clerk and doesn't usually handle the ingestion process, but she's the only one with room on her plate this evening. My schedule says she's on the 5th floor reviewing some diagrams. The elevator is just back to the left there, 5th floor. Going oop. She's on the 5th floor, right? Conway scans a column of elevator buttons. First floor, clerk's offices. 2nd floor, conference room. 3rd floor, bears. 4th floor, archives and records. 5th floor, diagrams and drafts. Well, I think we have to go to bears. Oh, fuck yeah. I love it. I love it. Oh man, look at those organ pipes. This is really just the best. Okay, so she's not actually on the 5th floor. Actually, that's the 4th floor, I think. Even though I pressed the down button on the elevator. Is there anything to look at here? Looks like there's one person on the 5th floor, and I don't think that's her. Chill bears versus bite wolves. I mean, in real life, I probably would have chosen the bear. The bear button. So let's try... Well, here's the thing. I don't think she's actually going to be on the 5th floor. Because I don't think that's her. I kind of like that loop. Talk to clerk. Greg is hard at work examining some diagrams, measuring angles with a plastic protractor, and occasionally scribbling numbers in a small leather notebook. Can I help you? Don't answer that. Are you Lula Chamberlain? No. You dismissed her, actually. She was up here about an hour ago. She's probably back at her real desk now on the 1st floor. She barely made a dent in these diagrams. Must have been distracted. Speaking of which... Alright, do we go back to the bears, though? Obviously, we go back to the bears. Sorry, my nose was... Oop, as I bumped the mic. Which is even worse. than blowing my nose. Alright, we've seen the bears. Can you imagine actually going into a building and being like, alright, so I need to go up to, like, my doctor's office on the 3rd floor, but I should really walk the entire 1st and 2nd floor first. Sup? Sup, everybody? Oh. I was rewarded for my curiosity. So this guy's just grilling food. So for what it's worth, I've lost control of the game. Okay, he's giant upon you. Blood starts to flow. Don't go in there, you best beware. Please, don't feed the fucking bears. He's barbecuing awful. Jed, you gotta put your shirt on. Delilah, ain't nobody wear a shirt when they play the organ pipes. Don't be ridiculous. Well, at least put your shoes on. Woman, if I told you once, I told you 100 times. So, you just gotta sample this and give it like a slight wow and flutter feel to it. And then you're in Twin Peaks. Hit it with that baritone guitar. Organ grinding. Barbecue flaming. Meat grilling. Organ grinding. Performance. Well, hello. A parade of disconnected images, obscure corners of nameless interiors, astronomical diagrams projecting the distance between celestial bodies, a painting by Giorgio de Chirico. A list of unpopular anagrams. The difference between the music in this and the music that I make is that this music has a much better understanding of harmony and chord structure than what I make. I kind of want to see how the bears are reacting to the... I feel like that's like a suspended chord. I don't know what the bears think. Players are not concerned. Okay, so it looks like I don't think there's anything else to explore. Oh, that pun hurts. Are you lost? Very much so, yes. Okay, well, let's get you pointed in the right direction then. It's a pretty straightforward process. First, you get a case number assigned. Talk to Clerk Metzstein about that. She's just over there at the end of the room. Happy to help. If you hold one note for long enough, everything sounds suspended. Alright, I guess we're talking to Metzstein. Hey, how are you? Fine, thanks. I just need your ingestion card and a list of your last 5 permanent addresses. Let's just skip it. Which one of you is Lula Chamberlain? Ingestion card? Oh, no ingestion card. Okay, that's okay. Just go talk to Clerk Bohm first, and they'll get you set up with one. Clerk Bohm is just over there in the corner, happy to help. Howdy. Here for an ingestion card? No problem. Rummage just threw papers on his desk. Happy to help. Where's that? Boom. Clerk Boom. He opens a few folders and quickly closes them. Looks like I'm out, but I know where there's some back in the archive. You'll have to put in a special request with Clerk Macmillan. She's the document czar. Straight back at the end of the office there by the file cabinets. Okay. Whoa. Boom. One ingestion card, please. Happy to help. Please just put your requisition form in the inbox, and I'll get to it as soon as possible. Oh, I got a different... Oh, Boom. Sweet Boom, Alabama. This is Kentucky. Ma'am, this is a Wendy's. Requisition form. Clerk Macmillan, yes, you don't have one? Shouldn't be a problem. They're quite easy to fill out. Just ask Clerk Metzstein and she'll get you sorted. Oh, there's a part of me that just wants to see how far this goes. It might become circular at some point. No problem. I'll just need your ingestion card to mark it outgoing in my logbook. I don't have an ingestion card yet. Oh, no ingestion card. Okay, that's okay. Just go talk to Clerk Bohm first. He'll get you set up with one. It is circular. This is just a runaround. Where is Lula Chamberlain? Oh, no, it's... I mean, that's her right there in the cardigan. Paperclip Labyrinth. Do you guys see the achievements as I get them? No, you don't. Okay. Well, that's too bad, because the achievements are funny. Talk to Lula. Have you guys seen Brazil? Having fun in the Paperclip Labyrinth? Well, you made it eventually. You look exhausted. I'd offer you my seat, but my ankles are turning on me. I feel like Shannon's a little too direct here. Arthritis? Dr. Truman says my joints are eroding one another. They've been collaborating for decades. It's only natural they want to kill each other now. Well, enough about my hateful wrists and ankles. This concrete bunker of an office is just a waypoint for you, I'm sure. Where is it you're trying to go? No, I don't mean, have you seen the country of Brazil? I mean, have you seen the movie Brazil? It's worth a watch. We're looking for 5 Dogwood Drive. Dogwood Drive, that's funny. You know I used to live on Dogwood Drive? This was years ago. Grimy old house. Basement full of insects, attic full of birds. I had a few roommates. We all worked at the university. I had a dog. I drank whiskey and beer and made sculptures. But that Dogwood was a surface road with a name like that. It would have to be. What are you doing on the 0? My cousin Weaver sent us this way. Your cousin Weaver? Weaver Marquez? I hadn't expected to hear from her again. What does that mean? We used to exchange short emails. Just these terse descriptions of things we saw throughout the day. It was sort of a joke between us, but they stopped. I assumed she'd found something better to do with her time. I hope she wasn't in trouble. I lost touch with her so suddenly. I had recommended she go see some old friends of mine at the university about a new acoustic surveying venture. I often worry she became wrapped up in some tenured professor's quixotic research project. You know the type, gray-haired, intellectual, narcissistic. Well, that is... I guess she sent you here because she respected me, though I thought I could help. Weaver's a dear girl, but I'm afraid you've been misled. Excuse me. Get over yourself. But where's the Dogwood Drive you lived on? Maybe it's the same one. No, it's not possible. The Dogwood Drive I lived on is now called Pale Dogwood Drive. They've renamed all the streets, you see. Too many streets with the same names. It was never a problem before, but now we have these databases, and it's all too confusing for the computer. The computer has no sense of ambiguity, so it proclaims an error. Name collisions, they call them. So my Dogwood Drive is Pale Dogwood Drive, and another might be Large-Leafed Dogwood Drive, or Himalayan Flowering Dogwood Drive, and so on. But one of them is still just Dogwood Drive, or so we might hope. It's really a matter of consulting records, of which we have an abundance here. Do you have a record of those streets? I expect we must. They'll be up in Archives and Records, 4th floor. It'll be filed under 0 for odonyms, O for odonyms, probably, or G for generic, or maybe S for specific, depending on which part of the street name was changed. What does odonym mean? I'm not familiar with that one. done. We're done talking to her. Okay. Glad we had this chat, Lula. An identifying name given to a street name. Odonym. Interesting. I'm just the kind of asshole to try to use that in conversation now. Documents. Damn, this place is a mess. Okay. Take a look through that logbook, I guess. Maybe there's some kind of system to all these boxes. I'll just start digging. Inside front cover. Note and logbook. Document staff, please do not transfer any more records from the storage unit until we get the new file cabinet in. We're up to F, and that will have to do for now. Instruct clerks to focus on activities beginning with the letters A, B, C, D, E, or F, or activities most likely to involve research on subjects beginning with those letters. For example, cars is okay because it involves automotive, driving, brakes, etc. But air quality is not okay because it relates to health, safety, pollution, etc. Page 1. Several documents relating to sporting competition venues were quickly checked out and back in over a period of a few days. Basketball courts, baseball fields, alleys, and parking lots. Adjust the microphone just a little bit again. Ooh, shit. As I send my tablet flying. It survived. This is like a real informal stream. This is more informal than like any of the streams I ever watch. Put the microphone right in front of my fucking face. Because you guys can't see me anyway. Ugh. You don't get to see me stretching. Ha 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 ha. This is the only stream you've ever watched. Well, I tend not to watch streams when they're live, but I pick up a lot of streams when they're not live, when they're on YouTube after the fact. Although I did watch like 30 seconds of Brossentia earlier, doing the Cuso Grande. Which if you guys haven't watched Cuso Grande, I think it's fun. This is the only one you're interested in. Well, aren't you sweet? Inside front cover, page 1, page 14. What do you suppose page 14 is just going to have the answer for us? Single set of documents relating to coal mining operation was checked out and back in by several different people within a few hours. Ah, okay. We're still doing that. Failing antique shops. Folder missing. Listed checked in on page 63, but not present. Check in failing antiques shop. Monday, 3 p.m. Signee Ed Boom. Inside front cover. Nothing, me either. Half of these boxes aren't even labeled. And the rest are all from the first few letters of the alphabet. I couldn't find anything with an O or a G or an S. Maybe that clerk knows somewhere else we can look. Can you at least be bittersweet? I don't like how this building is in Kentucky, but it uses a European floor numbering system. Or at least like everywhere else in the world, but not America. I want to talk to Bohm about page 63. Actually, if I go over to Bohm, can we talk to him? No. In the United States, the first floor is typically the ground floor. Elsewhere in the world, the first floor is the first floor above the ground floor. Nothing, that's unfortunate. Well, they must still be in transit. You see, we've only moved into this new venue somewhat recently, and it's all a bit in progress. This was a cathedral not so long ago, can you believe it? And then the Bureau reclaimed it. The old congregation has been directed to one of our storage facilities for their activity. That's where you'll find... Wait, hold on. And then the Bureau reclaimed it. The old congregation has been directed to one of our storage facilities for their activity. That's ridiculous. That's where you'll find the street name records, I expect. At the church, Marianne at the reception can give you directions. Just come back here when you have the files, and we'll begin the necessary paperwork to have that information analyzed. Oh, and while you're out on the road, you might want to stop and see Dr. Truman about your leg. He's a specialist regarding ailments of the joints and limbs. I know he works at night. His home office is in a small neighborhood on the east edge of Bowling Green. Here's his card. Do stop and see him. That leg is a miserable sight. Take care of each other. He's a good man and thorough. Two rednecks are talking, and one says to the other, I heard you caught your wife in bed with your best friend. The other replies, yeah, I did. The first then asks, you bit her? The second replies, yeah, I bit him too. Lobby. Check out these massive bugs. Were these here the whole time? It's a crab. This crab is wearing an empty inkjet cartridge as a shell. They look more like lobsters, but this crab is wearing a dense chain of paper clips as a shell. It's art. Get what you need? Be straight with me. What is this place? Just another office, lady. Just another job. You kicked out a congregation to set up your office? I wasn't here for that, but yeah, I get where you're coming from. Still, I wouldn't judge until I'd seen everything. They've got a new church now. The Bureau set it up for them out of some of their old storage space. I'm sure it's very nice. Go see it for yourself. Just get back on the 0 and drive until you hit the crystal. Then turn around. It'll make sense once you get on the road. You can handle it. Talk to dog. Oh, we got another crab. A manila folder as a shell. Let's see if there's another one. Yeah. Interesting. Oh man, that sound. Can we take a minute just to appreciate that motor sound? I've screwed something up. Can I return the direction I came? Is that even possible? No. Sandwich, which has a brick in it. Icosahedron. The cathode ray. The bottle. You're looking kind of tired there, old man. Want me to take the wheel for a bit? Yeah, we'll let her drive. St. Thomas Church. Random access self-storage. Area C. Talk to Shannon. Is that it over there? I don't see any congregation. It's dusty in here. Maybe it's after hours. Let's see what the janitor knows, I guess. Wrong way first. Oh, we didn't get his leg fixed, though. Oh, here for the night mass? What kind of mass is it? Tonight's a homily on work and need. Oh, I haven't heard this one before. Are you the preacher? Oh, I'm the janitor. Guess this must look pretty strange, a church without a congregation. When they first moved in here, man, this place was packed. They had a mass every night, 2 on Sunday. But it got a bit awkward to fit everyone in, and the numbers quickly dwindled. Once folks started to see it as a thing that was falling apart, they lost their center of gravity and just started wobbling. Then the preacher stopped coming too, but he left his old tapes, same with the organist. And I found some old acetates in the Bureau archives, photos of people in churches, so I keep it running. You do what you have to, right? We've all got a job. Work is play for mortal stakes. That's the title of the evening's homily, in fact. So I guess if you folks aren't here for the mass, you must be looking for the old bureau records. I moved them down to Unit C315 to make room for the mass. It's down at the other end of the building, same floor. I need to get the night mass started, but you can borrow my keys. I'll go. You wait here. Rest your leg. You're looking kind of pale. Nice lady. Well, I better get this running. Presses play. Conway listens to the homily. There are many days on which we proclaim the value of labor and celebrate the piety of the hard-working through feast or abstinence, recognizing St. Joseph the Worker, who was foster father to our Lord Jesus, and who trained him in carpentry and in the merit of sweat. And this is one such day. On this day we celebrate with the feast of St. Joseph the Worker, and on this day other workers are also celebrating, workers who do not attend Mass, or even one like it, even workers who do not attend a church at all, but who toil with clarity, with dedication, with perspicacity, who do as we do here in our church, inasmuch as they reflect the activity of God. As we do, they cultivate the earth, and at sundown, they call the fruit of their labor very good. Beyond the church, this day is celebrated in remembrance of a violent protest in Chicago, and to honor the 4 martyrs who were unjustly persecuted in its wake, having not only pursued their vocation in their daily labor, but also having pursued their avocation in the form of protest, activism, community building, radicalization, scholarship, and finally, martyrdom. Their and our avocation being, as it should be for all of us, should be for us all, as members of the church or otherwise, to secure our fellow workers the right to labor with dignity. So just as there is no dignity without sacrifice, there is no vocation without a vocation. Just as the left eye perceives that which is to the left, and the right eye perceives that which is to the right, and these images are summed, differentiated, and incorporated, and we find in our mind's eye an after-image of divine light, only where love and need are, and the work is play for mortal sake, for mortal stakes. Is the deed ever really done for heaven and the future's sakes? Okay, that's it. Next, there are some rituals that you and I aren't allowed to participate in. I don't think. I don't remember them anyway. Hi, got it. Got what? What? I found what we came here to get, the file on street name changes. You don't look good. Let's head back to the bureau and get this straightened out. And then maybe we should go see that doctor the clerk recommended. So is there no way to go to the doctor first? Wild. Jesus, are you alright? What the hell? Or are we back in the, My leg is stuck. Shit, okay, I'm gonna pull you out. We have to get you out of here. There you go. Okay, are you hurt? Can you put any weight on that leg? I'm changing all my answers. It's all messed up. Here, let's get you onto the tram. There you go. Now let's see if this thing has power. Hey, old man, look at me. Can you hear me? What happened? I don't know. He collapsed. I think he blacked out. He was mumbling about the old mine for a minute. The old mine where we met. I think I need to see that doctor. Or should we do another sermon? What the hell are you talking about? We're going to see that doctor the clerk recommended. She hands Brandon the doctor's card. How do we get to this address from here? I don't know. It's pretty tricky going back and forth between, you know, here and there. Bureau's the only way I know. Some of those folks do it all the time. Commuters. Let's go back the way you came, find the crystal, and then turn around. Huh. Okay, crystal. Turn around. It's not working this time. Act 2, Scene 3. This crab is wearing a can of spray adhesive as a shell. This crab is wearing a roll of Scotch tape as a shell. This crab is wearing a manila folder. Well, we already saw that one. Back so soon? Can we talk to Clerk Lula Chamberlain again? I'm afraid she left in a big hurry, actually. Something happened with your meeting? She seemed pretty interested in my cousin Weaver. I don't know who that is, but she did seem distressed. Well, heading back to the interstate? I can process you whenever you're ready to go back. Just let me know. Oops. So I click on a folder on my desktop instead of clicking on the screen. This crab is wearing 4 smaller crabs as a shell. Can have Little Bit Crab as a treat. Well, let's check on the bears. You're welcome. Gotta check on the bears. Oh, that's right. Is the organist still chilling over here? Nah, he's gone. Wait, where are you there? I got screwed up because it's the first floor. And this is America, damn it. Ready to be processed. She hands the receptionist the list card. Tell us how to get to this address. We're looking for Dr. Truman. Of course, this is in a neighborhood just outside of Bowling Green. Get on 65 going southwest, take a right just past the observatory. Just before the river, if you continue north, you'll be there shortly. Happy to help. Farmhouse is silent and empty. The barn is still gone. So is the cave. A few horses graze in the empty field. A roughly circular cluster of narrow radio towers sprout from the muddy field. A ragged chain-link fence strung up around the field would do very little to keep out vandals. Birds and other animals avoid the area. It is forcefully silent. Walking to the center of the cluster, try to tune the truck's radio. Conway and Shannon walk to the center of the cluster. The chain-link fence easily folds out of the way. Shannon holds a corner of it off the ground as Conway crawls under. Inside the fence, a subtle but perceptible hum disturbs the air. We're going for it. They walk farther in. At the center of the circle, Conway notices a tremor in his vision. His left eyelid twitches. On the ground nearby, a few empty beer cans surround a circle of scorched earth like candles. I forgot where I was going. There's a lot of places I can go. Joseph has fallen asleep in his chair. I don't know what that is. The 68 was actually what we were looking for, right? Yeah. Okay, well, I figured it out. The neighborhood at the address on Lula's card has been demolished. In its place is a large museum, still partially under construction. Act 2, Scene 4. Museum of Dwellings. Talk to our dog. Yeah, he was talking to his dog. Guy was a weirdo. Museum staff. What did he say? Doesn't seem that weird. You can see the guy, tall, kind of stooped over, limp and bad. Looked like an old drunk if you ask me. Bet they were both drunks breaking in here looking for a place to sleep it off. Just feel bad for that old dog being dragged all over by a couple of old drunks. Old dog like that should be sleeping on a porch somewhere. That's loyalty for you. and stayed along the way. I heard the man and the lady talking when they first came in, but they didn't see me. What were they talking about? The man said his leg was hurting him. They were looking for Dr. Truman, but he was already gone. They didn't know. So they kept looking around. I just assumed they were from the power company. You know how they're always coming by unannounced and messing with this or that? I shut myself in a room to wait it out, no sense getting involved. How did they get in? Must have been one of the kids who left the front door unlocked. Something's got to be done. They run around like animals. You know that Flora left a can of soda on top of my shelter door? You know, I almost killed myself slipping on that sticky mess the next morning. Something's got to be done. Good thing I've got an umbrella. Okay, I guess I don't go in there. I guess they must have gone through some papers here. It was in some disarray and a few folders were pulled out and left on the table. I mean, it wasn't too bad. I only noticed because Diane is such a stickler. She's real organized, I mean. What folders were they looking at? Yeah, mostly stuff about the building site, I guess. They had a list of all the homes we relocated here. A list of original residences before we leveled the neighborhood. I guess they were looking for one of the old residents. Pulled out a list of folks who didn't take the offer, folks who moved elsewhere, but they filed that back out of order, so I guess they didn't find what they were looking for there. Hey, while I have you here, work's kind of slowed down. It seems like, I know you folks know what you're doing, but it seems like the residents are just kind of settling in. That's the idea. Yeah, I guess that. How about that roof, huh? You just write us a check and we'll finish it right up. I know you've got this museum thing going on, but you don't want to be slumlords now. They came by and knocked on the window. We had a bit of a talk through the glass. I would have come out, but you know, shady characters. What'd you talk about? They were asking about Dr. Truman. I told them all that I knew about that, which is not very much. What do you know about Dr. Truman? I told them he moved in here with the rest of us when you folks bought up the neighborhood, and then one day his house was gone. That's all I know about that. I don't want to talk about that anymore. I heard them banging around out there, and I just stayed quiet. I don't know what they wanted. I just put my headphones on and tried to ignore them, to tell you the truth. So is this like a human museum? Oh, there's a person. Sadie. Do you know, at first I thought it might be Hudson walking up to visit. I heard him working on the boat just a bit earlier before the storm started. Then I saw the stranger's limping gait and the young woman with him, and I knew it couldn't be. I invited them in for a glass of bourbon, which they politely declined, so I just talked to them on the porch for a bit. What did you talk about? Oh, we talked a bit about the neighborhood. I told them about Hudson and his sailboat, the nice young couple in the greenhouse, and the charming Dr. Truman who used to live here. They're very interested in him, but of course, well, I don't know what he wants. Do you know? I don't believe either of them had ever set foot on a houseboat before. I don't know what the older man had ever, I don't know if that the older man had ever seen an ocean, in fact. It's always been my fondest dream to retire on a houseboat. That's why I accepted your offer and moved in here. It isn't perfect, but what home ever is? I only wish the house would sway a bit. I find that it settles my nerves. Well, we had another storm like that last one. I thought I could go over by the train. I cannot. Well, I talked to the tent person now. Walker, they were hollering at that empty tent you folks have on display. If you ever need anyone to stay in there, I've been in worse positions. This is really odd. Oh, there's an elevator. Actually, let's just go. Alright, I don't think Shannon's actually in the elevator there. She just rode up on the outside. That's cool, that big ass bird. We were working in the greenhouse and I saw them come up in an elevator. They were lost, obviously. It was obvious. Of course I saw them looking at that odd-shaped building. Sure, the round tower. They go inside? No, they just looked at it for a bit. I don't know that I'd feel safe setting foot in there personally. It always looks like it's about to take off. Actually, I guess it's sort of romantic. Anyway, they seemed interested in it. Tired, and everyone needed umbrellas. I still stopped to examine the strange building. It's difficult to see or even hear a storm like that, but I was awake and alert, studying the week's forecast. Should even out shortly, I'd say. pay close attention to it, or not to it. The strangers need to know how I cope with the exposure. I guess some people don't even understand the appeal of life on the sailboat. It's tragic, that's all. Well, when they had to leave, looking for a doctor, the old man was having a bad time. It was a short conversation. Flora was playing down on the lower level and we were having a glass of wine in the greenhouse. We ducked out of the way when he came in. After all, they were complete strangers. We didn't know them. Did they seem dangerous? Well, nothing dangerous about them, but he was carrying a cage. The bird was carrying a cage. How could you? I heard the young woman ask for Kumba's job. Some kind of furniture collector or dealer. Didn't sound like things were going well. Maybe they were looking for a buyer? Yes, definitely some kind of furniture collector or dealer. I heard them talking about antiques. Talk to Ezra. That's how you folks drive up. What kind of truck is that? Shame, it's not fucking around. Got a couple of them at the shop. This is the only one that runs. Oh yeah, with a truck, you gotta keep it up. That's why me and Julian don't use a truck. We just carry the houses. That sounds very impressive. Use Julian, or you take the houses. Me and Julian take them out to the forest every night, and then we bring them back at dawn before the museum opens. Why do we take them out to the forest? This museum is an okay place to live in the daytime, but it's no good at night. Folks just can't sleep in a place like this, or when they do, it gives them nightmares. So we take them out to the forest to sleep, and then bring them back in the morning. Family out in the forest? Oh no, I don't know where they are. Me and Julian were looking for them for a while, but anyway, we have a job to do here now. Taking these people out to the forest at night so they can sleep, and maybe the rest of them will be like Dr. Truman and will stay out there with the after looking. Can you tell us how to get to the forest? We have to follow the Green River Way out east. And hop over Lake Cumberland. The roads don't go there. But me and Julian can take you. We're just about to go anyway. Just gotta call him over. That was Julian the bird. Yeah! Awesome. This game just has crazy style. From this height, the museum looks like a blocky crater slowly filling with rain. Oh, I tell it where to go. I just can't see what the names of the roads are. All-night diner by the side of the road. The lights are off. Barren soils. From this angle, the building looks strange and abstract, like a pile of intersecting boxes and triangles. Flying past at this speed and angle, the farmhouse is invisible among the trees. Its location is only marked by Conway and Shannon's memories. From above, the huge swaying tipple looks like a small wooden lattice, framing the edge of the mine entrance. shadowy figure drags itself out of the lake, stuffs its limbs into a smart blue suit, and trudges slackly out of view. What? Ah, it's you. Lake Cumberland. I wasn't expecting this game to be so strange, but I'm glad it is. Forest. Act 2, Scene 5. A forest. We're playing as a little kid now.
Lost all my money but a $2 bill. $2 bill, boys, $2 bill. Lost all my money but a $2 bill. I'm on my long journey home.
It's okay, just take it easy.
Homesick and lonesome and I'm feeling kind of
Just close my eyes. I don't think that's a good idea. Just take some strain off your leg for a minute and then keep going. Why is this delivery so important to you? It's my last delivery. Are you retiring or something? Or sorry. Lizette's closing up shop. That's damn. How'd you come to be with these people? This is saying stuff.
Got to go
More like you, I'll still be wild.
got to go home. It's dark and raining and I've got to go home. I'm on
That's Conway again.
my journey home.
Shouldn't be much further now. I think I see where the settlements end over there. This forest is full of shadows. Moonlight helps. Closer to the cities, you don't get moonlight like this. It's all just gets washed out. Light pollution, you know? Guess it's still there, you just can't see it. How are you feeling? Just thinking about getting back to work. I just need to rest. We're almost there. We'll get you patched up and back in that truck. We can handle this. You ever been over to the lake? It's really deep. Bet I could swim to the bottom there.
I'm on my long journey home. Lost all my money but a $2 bill.
Do you have any family you're close with? Brother or sister, kids? Lizette's family, I guess. Oh yeah? Husband, bunch of kids? Well, I guess it's just me and her now. Oh well, two is still a family, right? Guess I was always closest with Weaver, as close as someone can be with a girl like that. She was always on her own wavelength. We were the same age growing up, and everyone else was so busy. When she disappeared, I got pretty angry, and I guess just stayed that way. Never really understood her, but I knew her. It's lonely without someone like that around. Sorry, you're a good listener. You have a way of falling behind, don't you? Me, I'm always too far ahead. Maybe I should slow down a bit like you.
Stuck in a raining and I've got to go home. Got to go home, boys.
Where have you been? We lost sight of you for a minute. Yep, it's easy to get lost, especially out in the woods like this. I never really get lost, though. I just look out for Julian. He's always around. My folks had a really nice house, bigger than any of these houses, but it made them worried all the time. Then the bank took it back. We had to sleep at the bus station, but I couldn't ever get to sleep, so I just went out to fly around every night with Julian. We flew really far and we never got lost. But when we came back in the morning, they were all gone. They just left you? I don't think so. All our stuff was still there. Maybe they got lost somewhere. Let's go see what's on TV. And yeah, I think during that exit interview is when I really realized how badly they had me. How else can you pay for medical school? I have college friends with debts that you can't expect to pay that back unless you're planning to sell painkillers on the side or something. Or, some kind of administrative thing. I don't know. Having seen what arthritis did to my grandmother and my best friend in high school, it destroyed his wrists building synthesizers. I mean, he was like 17. Ailments of the joints and limbs just seem important to me. Hope that answers your question. Getting a scholarship at that pharmaceutical company had a lot of strings attached, but at least I have somewhere to practice, even if I have to follow their market trends a bit. Hey, thanks to all those seminars, I'm an expert on the medical uses of Neripnol TM. It's not so bad. Yeah, the dog's wearing a hat. So how about that leg? What happened exactly? My leg was crushed by falling rocks. Crushing injury, yeah, those can be pretty bad. Everything gets all compressed and there are a lot of little pieces to... You know what? Never mind. Let me take a look. How bad could it be, right? The Bedquilt Ramblers play My Long Journey Home on TV. What are they singing about? They're singing about travel, they're singing about going home, they're singing about hard times. Singing about going home. They're singing about their home because they're lost right now. It's a scary song. It's scary, but they can still sing about it. Friend's in pretty bad shape, isn't he? Well, I mean, if he's been walking on the thing, it can't be shattered. It's something we can't handle. You know, the few things to look out for in the future. Be a bit gentler with the leg or the way you walk, but you'll be okay. I've dealt with similar cases before. So the anesthetic we'll use is called Neripnol TM. It's pretty experimental, but it's more appropriate in cases like yours. The way it works is I'll count backwards from 5 to start the process. And then we'll just have a normal conversation as the Neripnol TM takes effect. Then I'll get started. Here we go. 5, 4, 3. I think it's going to end on 0, 2. So let's talk about billing for a moment. The pharmaceutical company I'm contracted with was recently acquired by an energy company that has some different standards for billing and revenue, so it's a bit complex now. End of Act 2. Let's see. Do we want to end it there? I don't think I have a whole act or even this little bit. It's a lot of reading, especially the reading out loud. Considering there were things I was supposed to read out loud today, but I did not do. Maybe we can do a couple puzzles for half an hour here. Let's see how that goes. If I don't know, if I close this, there's going to be nothing on the stream, right? Yeah, the sound design for this is outstanding. Well, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna see what happens. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I know there's 5 of you here, but I'm going to. I think I'm gonna take the stream down and bring it back up when I've got the other game ready to go. I think that's okay. That way I'll have 2 separate files. Or maybe just before I get started with the next one, I'll hit record again. Yeah, no, that'll be fine. Okay, so if I close it, it's now black. Who could have expected?